Looking forward, of course, to see you, Semper, in the next round, should you be there. But this can go downhill very quickly. At the same time, teams like G2, Vitality, who are currently 0-2, that can turn around as well. You need to win that third series, and sometimes that's the hardest one to win. In this case, it should be, because these two teams have been on fire this weekend.
We're going to see off the backboard immediately. Very good offensive attempt there by Semper. We did hear an awful lot of talk about how Archie is kind of the paladin of this team. We're looking to try and see whether or not he can step up to the plate. He's going to have to, because there is a trio of superstars. One of them right here off the backboard. Apparently jacked off the wall.
What?
Well, they've gone high, they've gone wide, they've done everything but hit the target. But Shosset will show them how it's done.
Well, Abjack's shaking his head after that one. He's just completely missed. It's not wide open as a net, but it's got, you know, a lot of open corners. And then Jari is playing the ball on the backward rotation. Probably shouldn't be doing that. You know, really wants to be going for the player there, because the own goal is possible. That's something we used to see back in Season 1 and 2 a lot.
I don't feel it's too harsh to say that there wasn't very many other ways to play that worse, necessarily.
I would agree.
That's going to be the infield, and there we go. Right through the middle.
Abjack making sure to miss that post this time.
Just staring at him as he does the pass.
Well, you know, Jory is... I mean, if Jack missed this, Jory would have definitely been thinking, what have I got to do? What have I got to do to get you to score, man? Like, these are some brilliant assists by Jorias. He's dismantling Semper, and it really could be 2-0 right now. Dignitas, untested when they're in defense. You know, when they're not scoring on themselves, just Jory is a problem at both ends.
You'll get to see more of that as well from apparently Jack. Dignitas not afraid just to jump to give an angle, give some sort of doubt to their opponent's defensive.
Ooh.
That's back into the midfield. Archie lays it over to his teammate. Scrub Killer challenges Cassio to a mid-air duel. Just over a minute down. We're still at 1 each. This is the first of quite a few inter-regional matchups. Johnny, we came all the way here. Looking forward to seeing some of these international matches. I didn't expect to be casting Europe versus Europe this early.
Yeah, it was inevitable at some point we'd just be stuck with EU versus EU when all the NA teams have decided to go nearer to the airport. But like you said, round 2, we didn't think it was, or round 3 rather, thought this might still be EU versus NA territory. Apparently not. We'll get one of those after this
I'm not taking part of this. I got James joining me after this series. I'm not getting on his bad side.
James, who is right now at least the biggest FaZe fan I've ever met. NRG as well, of course. Another chance for Dig, and it's wide open for Jarias. 2-1. They have been creating chances really well in this opening game. Just completely beating Semper to the ball.
Yeah, I don't know where Shosset was off to. Semper earlier on seeing that Dignitas couldn't score in the open net. Doesn't mean you're supposed to challenge them to do it 2 more times. 2-1 to Dig. Looking very comfortable thus far. I've got my first one of those out of the way. Here comes Jorius over to the far side, and Jorius has got his first one out of the way. Flip reset. Annihilates everybody.
Jorius has pretty much caused every goal here. He's scored an own goal, and now he is absolutely ripping Semper to shreds. Archie needs to pop off. Shosset needs to show us some of that LAN glory from the past. Cassio needs to show why he has been one of the most consistent players in the modern era. Oh, look at this. That's actually on target. What a pinch by Archie. Oh, that didn't take long.
And that was necessary as well. Jorius scoring almost immediately off the kickoff. Archie, right down the middle. You can't ask for any better placement than that.
Off the curve, he actually pinches it downwards because there's a Dignitas player coming in right in front of him. If he pinches that straight towards the goal, it probably makes contact with the Dignitas player, but because he's gone downwards into the curve, it actually goes past that player. Unbelievable placement by Archie. It's a long way to go in game number 1.
Apparently Jack will give chase, realizes that it was pretty much a losing battle. But again, Dignitas, get used to seeing this from them. They're very good at making you think that they're going to commit and then go off, steal some boost, demo a goalkeeper. They like to leave their options open for as long as possible. See, apparently Jack wait all the way at the back. He'll be called into action. Shosset putting him under some pressure. Straight into the corner. Dignitas never in a rush. Always back themselves to try and win that midfield challenge. This might be a good opportunity though for Semper to try and put some bodies forward. Not able to do so. Now Dignitas, how many people have they got to choose from? Does he scrub Killer? Look to try and add a little bit of support, but again, Jack's going to be stuck by himself. 1-on-1 against Archie for the time being. Archie playing for pace. Wants the rest of the recruits to turn up. And this is starting to settle into more of a Dignitas sort of pace. With them in the lead, they'll be very happy to do that.
And definitely Dignitas the better of the two teams so far. It's worth mentioning Semper beating Sandrock Gaming actually coming into this made me, have a little bit more hope for them against Diggs. Dignitas have been strong in one of the aspects. Sandrock were really strong against G2, and that's the 50-50s, the challenge game. They've been really destroying EU this season in that aspect. Only Endpoint really able to contest them. Oh, what a shot that is. Oh, it's gone in. Castillo lets it rip. Top shelf. Infield pass, quick as you like. And it is a tie game off Archie's pass to Castillo.
Well, you don't hit it much cleaner than that, Jorius. Try as you like. Wasn't getting anywhere near it. Tied game. Heard Cole say he'd much rather see a 5-4, a 4-3 than a 1-0. Cole will be very happy with what he sees so far, and so will Semper. They've got themselves back into a game that they have looked second best in.
Oh.
That was, however, very dangerous. Now the pass. Chaussette doesn't look like he quite had the boost to follow. At least the pass didn't have enough angle for him to feel all that inclined to do so. This is where Dignitas are so dangerous. And the issue is that will develop throughout this series. On occasion, you'll see Jack go solo. On other times, you'll see him go for the infield. He's very difficult to figure out what he's going to do until he does it.
That's the danger of playing against a team who can solo play this well. We're seeing a lot of players with 1v1 history do really well on this LAN. In fact, probably Semper are the team in the top 4 at the moment with the least 1v1 experience. And they're trying to hold on here against Dig. Fighting back. We asked Archie for that pop-off. He delivered immediately. It's still a tie game.
Archie again asking questions of the backboard defense. Jorius wants to follow, cannot do so. Chaussette off the backboard. Who's there first? No real attempt to stride forward by Archie. Instead, he's going to wait for the pass back. Same way that they managed to get the third goal. And able to do it for a fourth. 10 seconds now. Archie, does he want to commit? Again, Semper, defensive focused. And this is why, because they're scared of the breakaway. And there's the shot! Oh! There's the goal! Hat-trick hero for Jorius!
Oh, what a bump by Jack as well. Clapped turbo with one of these yesterday. Now we've got Chaussette just helpless. Nothing he can do. As our Appjack hits him on the rotation in. 2 seconds to go. What a heartbreak for Semper. They fought back bravely, still trailing to Dignitas.
They've got 2 seconds to find something. It's a good pop for them. Need to be able to get the follow-up, but it was off camera, but Castillo was getting bullied on his way for it. Oh, how have you done that?
Archie, once again, look at the back post approach, giving him the biggest possible angle. Castillo keeps it up.
Where's he come from?
An orange trail. And for Archie to catch that before it crosses the box is phenomenal positioning.
Well, he's not an online warrior anymore. Archie has stepped up, as every player has, to the LAN plate. Oh, that's so dangerous. It's cleared, and Semper fight back yet again. Apparently Jack's got loads of time. Goes straight for the backboard. Castillo booming clear. And that will be pretty easy to catch. Once again for Dignitas, they look to launch yet another attack.
You got to remember, Archie pointed that out in the interview before the game. Never give up. They've come back from 2 down with 4 seconds left. What's 1 goal in 2 seconds? Nothing to these guys. They've got all the evidence you need here. This is going to be a close series. Both teams looked good yesterday. They're looking even better today.
Dignitas doing a really good job of catching the third man on rotation back, hitting them with a couple of bumps. And Semper needs to keep eyes open, make sure that does not happen yet again. Field, Castillo, good job on the challenge. Chaussette had a little moment there where he wanted to move forward. Castillo should be able to claim that ball for his own. Still, Semper under threat. Castillo breaks away. Scrub Killers attempted a challenge, not quite strong enough. Jorius straight on net. Hat trick's not good enough for him, and that's why it hasn't been good enough for him. He needs to keep that going. Castillo is the midfield option.
Really good by Scrub. Pressure in again on the recovery. He's not leaving his goalkeeper alone there twice in a row now. He's making a beeline straight for the ball. Another bump attempted by Dig. Semper well aware of that strategy. We actually saw Appjack practicing that in the warm-up lobby. Warm-up lobby is never indicative of what you're going to see in a game. Here's Jorius. Tight angle. Drops down. Chaussette gets goal side.
Got to figure out whether or not it's on net as quickly as possible. Off the backboard. Is anyone able to get there in time? Off the crossbar, but the goalkeeper turns it into their own net. and Dignitas made to fight for it, but have got game one.
Oh, it's a bit careless by Casio and Chaussette there. They're both caught a bit flat-tired in the net as the ball goes into the backboard. Casio, clean beaten to the ball. We saw that a lot early in the game by Dig. Semper seemed to speed up and start to even out that pace difference. But right at the end of the game, it comes back to bite them once more as they just get completely beaten to the ball by Appjack. And Chaussette outside the net instead of on the inside of the goal line, unable to get on the right side of the ball.
What a first game this was, and we could potentially have 4 more of those coming our way. Yeah, you know what? You'd think that, you know, two games to nothing or 2 matches to nothing in the Swiss, you'd be a little bit more calm about it, but no, you still want to get all of those. You were still getting the pop-offs, and it has been fantastic to see. I've been waiting so long, man, to see all of these pop-offs, and with these 2 teams, not going to get anything else.
Well, you know, you're talking about potential tournament MVP players. You know, what's the list looking like right now? You've definitely got to throw Ajorius in there. Just the pop-off potential he's got. Chaussette meditating at the moment.
Chaussette's getting in the zone. That's the Zen mode right there.
Definitely one of my favorite players to watch between games. You know, whether he's having a 1v1 with a can that he's unable to open, or whether he's just, you know, just really just trying to calm down that breathing. It's a good technique, you know, to just try and get that heart rate down low, the slow breathing. And these teams, they've got the not just the coaching from Semper, but also that psychologist as well. Really helpful.
Well, Chaussette throughout his entire career has not ever really done a middling result. He's either pots off entirely and annihilated everybody at DreamHacks, or you get results like that Season 8 over in Madrid where they came in, #1 seed for Europe, didn't perform to the standards we expected from them. What version of Chaussette are we going to get this time around? Off the backboard, might get ourselves a goal.
Okay.
That's the version of Chaussette I want to see this tournament.
So he's managed to manifest Dignitas completely whiffing the ball. Scrubkiller Ajorius just floating in that play. Appjack completely missing. So whatever Chaussette did between games 1 and 2 clearly worked. I just imagine he was just thinking really hard about Dignitas whiffing the ball, which, you know, if you've watched a lot of Scrubkiller stream, it's actually not that hard to imagine.
No. I like to imagine that Chaussette is completely aware when the camera is on. I mean, he just looks tame when the camera is on. When the camera is off, he's staring directly at apparently Jack. Dare you to miss that ball, mate.
Semper always trying to be behind the ball in defense. Dignitas a bit more willing to go out and meet that attack. Low shot, defended well. Dignitas definitely showing a lot more respect to Semper despite that game 1 win than we saw in the very beginning of this series. They were just all over them, especially Ajorius. But now, after being hit by the counterattacks and the passing plays, having to sit a bit further back in their half.
This is where Chaussette does his best work. Forcing players to come in on the timing, what he lacks in maybe 1v1 mechanics. He's so good at figuring out high-low angles. Just blasting through those challenges, according to action against Ajorius. Archie taps the ball on. It's going to be a bit difficult to read, but wasn't enough power to truly threaten Dignitas. Scrub to Ajorius. Ajorius to Scrub. Scrub, can he take it the whole way? Chaussette sees a 3-way passing play. Very relaxed about the entire thing. This one will have no such outcome for him. Ajorius adds more to the tally.
Great passing by Dig. Semper caught a bit on top of each other at the near post. They needed somebody pressuring the ball. You know, when everybody wants to be that goalkeeper, be that last man, ball pressure comes to a bare minimum, and you're wide open to these options that Dignitas are so good at exploiting. The passing plays, the solo plays these guys are capable of. Just threats coming in from all angles.
Dignitas, I've got so used to them controlling the midfield in a bit of a way, but throughout this series, it's been more the counter-attack from them when they get their very short opportunities with just one player in net. That's when they've done their best work. Chaussette straight for net. You'll always be aware that, at least defensively, Dignitas very happy for a cheeky double commit.
Well, you know, they recover so fast that
it's worth it.
Their double commits that sometimes don't really matter. As long as you've got 2 players landing on a wall somewhere after committing, you can get back in the game so quickly. The boost management's phenomenal by Dignitas, and they're really growing into that as they get more experience on the stage. This is actually open for Scrub if he can find a way through. Double tap off the backboard, does get denied. Awkward shot was a bit too difficult for Scrubkiller on that occasion.
But even on the setup, we just saw what makes Dignitas so threatening.
Wow.
They're always involved in plays that you think that they're out of. By the time they reach the ball, Jorius self-set off the backboard, looks for apparently Jack. So is Chaussette.
Yeah, these teams looking scary at the moment. We have a loose touch there, but Scrubkiller is actually able to catch up to it. Semper are being boost starved. Cassio and Archie both have 0. Chaussette gonna need to do something with this, just sends it long. It's not a bad idea because now it gives time for Cassio and Archie to run around. Cassio gets the shot on net. Archie grabs a 100 pad. That's why that hard clear is just being sent away. Chaussette buying his teammates some time as much as he'd love to do something a bit more creative with that, perhaps. Archie now makes it 2-1. First touch was perfect, and the second was undefendable.
Just seemed to come straight to him, and yeah, you're not going to get anything better than that.
Wow. It's like when you spawn and the ball just hits you and goes in, but this time in a good way.
It's the only time that has ever been a positive factor in a game of Rocket League. And Semper finally have got themselves a lead. They've been fighting for this. They've been scoring plenty. It's the first time that they're going to be the ones under pressure to hold on to it. Chaussette used all the boost to find that shot. Scrub taking his time.
Oh my goodness.
Gonna have even more of it. Charging at Semper. Finally has support arriving off the backboard. One more chance for them. Where is the third? Jorius couldn't get there. I think he was being bumped.
I think he was looking for a clean run. Oh my goodness. Oh, that looked like it was going to get clear to safety. Scrubkiller's got other ideas. What a block. He actually got one touch forward and denies Chaussette's clear, which looked like a pretty good attempt by Chaussette, to be fair. I mean, now he wishes he hit it straight up in the air, but what a play by SK.
There's some sort of clairvoyance for the Scotsman. What a hit by Scrubkiller. 50 seconds left, another tight game. Although Scrubkiller might have yet another opportunity to add to Dignitas' tally. More boost steals, those back corner boosts becoming such a point of contention on both teams. This is what Semper have done well, where most teams up against Dignitas do get stuck. They're just booming the ball. They're finding the off angles. That was a very crucial touch from Cassio. Still might not mean much because Jorius cannot miss.
I mean, these guys are putting some insane plays on the board now. Jorius up so early for that read. Chaussette wasn't slow to it, but he still gets beaten to the ball. Dignitas are outpacing a fast team by such a large margin that Semper can't even get a glancing blow.
It's like a 100-meter dash, but your opponent has already left 2 seconds before you. Dignitas, so quick. Such incredible game IQ for players that are so young. Now Jorius, can he get another hat trick? 2 games in a row, 2 hat tricks for Jorius.
Oh man, look at the face cams on the Dig boys. They can't believe it. It's just too easy for them. You know, Archie a bit left alone at the back there, and Jorius is probably the absolute worst player in the entire world to be left alone against when you're up against a full boost and ball under control player. Surely that's it, even for Semper, who don't know how to give up. I've got, faith in them to make this a series from 2 games down. But they're going to need to do it from 2 games down. Time's gone. And Scrubkiller trying to add insult to injury. He does! 5-2. What a statement by Dig.
This is some of the best shooting that we have seen from any of our teams. Dignitas proving themselves to be... Well, they're not in the hype chamber. They are the hype within the chamber right now.
I mean, if they went into an empty chamber, it would become a hype chamber. Merely by their presence at this rate.
Dignitas on top at the moment and looking unstoppable in this series. And Semper, they're not playing bad. They're getting caught, absolutely. But that seems to be what's happening to everybody. We were wondering, what level really is Dignitas, because they came in, they beat Tokyo Verde. Envy didn't look great in the series before taking on Dignitas. This is such a telling series, and I want to hear more from our lad known as Orb.
Thank you so much, guys. Impressive close out there from Dignitas. I'm standing here with the content lead for Dignitas. That's what I love about this place. You don't know who you're going to run into. You're going to run into players, coaches, and also there's a bunch of content teams running around trying to capture the amazing content, the most amazing content they can for their teams. So how has the experience been? You definitely caught a lot of good shots earlier, right?
Oh, I mean, How can we not? The boys are on fire, almost undefeated so far, and for the content, we're like the only ones doing content out here right now. So of course, gotta make sure it looks good. Gotta make sure it looks good.
I mean, asking you guys, or asking you if Dignitas is going to win, of course, you're going to say yes. I'm going to switch the script on you, and I'm going to ask, what does Semper have to do to beat you guys?
I think they're gonna need to stop looking over at their monitors at our team. Obviously, best looking team can be kind of distracting. So, you know, yours is beautiful eyes, Jack's beautiful chain, and Scrub obviously has the best haircut. So, I mean, keep focus on the monitor and maybe you'll actually hit more goals.
It's getting very essential down here. I can feel the energy just heating up. We're going to head back into the next game. Guys, please take it away.
I want him back. We need more content managers, apparently. That was incredible. And I'll tell you what, Orb did not do a half bad job himself, as is the team. Dignitas are living up to the hype. They're only one more game away from getting their day 3 off.
They've done so well. They really have. And you know, my favorite thing about Dignitas so far, and all the tests that they've had. Hold on a second, Shawset's trying to double. We've got to pause and accept that fact. Good save there on the follow-up shot. Okay, now that Semper have calmed down, I was going to credit Dignitas' ability to handle those, you know, bad moments. They've been scored on. Semper came back from 2 goals down, put in some great goals. Don't worry, that's not in. Nothing to worry about. But, you know, in those moments, Dignitas are all smiles. They know that you've got to stay positive. There's really nothing to gain from being too upset about that. You know, you can be upset for just a moment, get it out of your system, but then when you get into the next play, you've got to be positive. You've got to have each other's backs, and it's something that a lot of teams have really struggled with this weekend.
I think it really helps when the person that is pretty much coaching you could probably take you in a 1v1.
That's true.
You're not listening to him thinking, what do you know, mate? You can't do what I do. He'll just take you to Manfield Night, score 8 past you, go and do your job.
Well, that's a crazy thing. You're talking about AppJack. He's kind of like the in-game coach for this team, and the IQ that just breathes knowledge every time he speaks in the team comms. But that's it. I'd say Jorius actually takes him. You know, Jack's probably going to beat anyone else in the world. I'd say he's going to beat anyone else in the world. Okay, maybe 50-50 with Khaled. Hopefully we'll see him at other lands this year. But Jory is that one guy who just always has a way to beat anybody on the field. He'd probably clap Scrub, though.
Don't tell Scrub that. I feel like no matter what part of Scrub's career we get him to, he will always believe he can beat anybody and everybody. Scrub's undefeated in best of ones.
Scrubs, you know, he's had a great line as well so far. He's had so many questions asked of him, so many failed teams ever since he left Vitality years ago now, and so many people questioning the validity of this transfer that Dig picked up. But, you know, I backed him. I've got to back my countrymen. Oh, look at this from Archie. Mind game does go wide. Love the creativity from Semper, but that final shot has not hit the target just yet.
It's probably the biggest compliment we can give to Semper as well, is that whilst a lot of teams that we have seen in this environment have kind of frozen up, gone to foundational Rocket League, Semper have not done that. They're still testing. Shawset, drop down past to Archie, stuff like that. Where you're just asking the question. Scrub Killer continues the hunt over in the background, but Archie has taken over. 0 boost. Quite find the challenge that he was after. Just taps the ball on. Shawset looking for Archie. Not quite the angle you would have liked, but still can keep moving on with Casio in support. Doesn't need that support. Archie gives Semper the lead.
You know, AppJack was back there, but it looks like he wasn't quite ready for this. Archie, with that extra touch on the ball there, goes past Jorius. And 1-0 Semper, just past halftime in Game 3. Might be the start of the comeback that they have definitely got on their minds.
None of these games have necessarily been blowouts, so that challenge could have gone anywhere. Just over 2 minutes left in Game 3. And Archie, he wants to try and add to him. Off the backboard, Casio jumps. Can he get there in time? Oh, what a save! Jorius keeps it to only 1.
That's a phenomenal save. A couple of great saves by Dig in this game. Quiet in offense compared to Games 1 and 2, though. Demos continues to look effective, however, for Team Dignitas. Oh, Team Pinch. Tempted by Archie and Casio there. Love to see that. The creativity for Semper has been phenomenal in Game 3. They've got to keep that up.
The comms have been so good thus far. Able to just keep on top of one another, make sure that they do not hand the ball away to a very lethal Dignitas squad. Top corner!
Scrub just drills it, and You can tell a lot about how a player's feeling and how confident they are, or just simply how hard they hit the ball when it's coming towards them like this. Scrubkiller did not miss a beat there. That's about as close to as hard as you can hit it. Accuracy as well, on point. And comparing that to how a lot of teams looked yesterday on the stage, it's night and day. Power shots absolutely flying into the net from Dig.
Maybe one of the better bounces that Semper could have asked for. Keeps it out of the danger, at least for the time being. Jorius, no boost. Also no support over in the midfield. Might have liked somebody just to redirect that on to the orange side of the field. Jorius also just holding back, along with Scrubkiller. Realizing that they're on a little bit low boost, and Scrubs missed the boost.
It's a good touch. Just lofting the ball just slightly out of reach so nobody from Semper can get quickly onto it.
That was a very quickly abandoned Rule 1.
No surprise under these circumstances.
They just start shining the lights on you at that point.
Dignitas still quite happy to just sit and wait for that mistake. Wild pre-jump by Archie there. Now he's dissuaded Dignitas from attacking them with an air dribble, but didn't get a lot more than that. Shostet, clean pass one. Well, it will actually end up in the middle here. Jorius is there for it. It looks like it's going to deflect to safety, but Dignitas still press back, looking for the counter.
Apparently Jack want to put directly into Archie. That's an awkward bounce. There's the follow.
Save.
Another huge save. Scrubkiller with the third. Still can't turn the ball in. Dignitas have been the more clutch of the two squads. They need to add the third clutch to their names. Might even get it before the ball hits the ground. Castillo. Will he want to go the whole way, or does he want to just take this to overtime? That was maybe the worst of the two decisions. Almost dropped it straight over to Dignitas.
Yeah, good cut by Shostet though, and we will end up in overtime. Semper really need this. Those game wins can be huge. Dignitas win-loss is impeccable at the moment. Can they go perfect throughout this entire Swiss bracket?
9-0 is looming for Dignitas. Huge demo. Castillo sets up Archie to go on the chase. Archie still wants to hit. Jorius couldn't do so. Infield pass out of reach for apparently Jack. Backboard bounce. Shostet has to hold the line. It's going to take his time. Well, about as much time as Scrubkiller's going to allow him. Reset for Jack. Doesn't look like he quite got it. Jack looks for Shostet. Oh, they don't need to hit the ball all the time. They just need to make sure they get your car.
And those bumps have been huge for Dig. Demo coming in as well. From game one, they've been just absolutely farming Demo, something that can be really hard to pay attention to. They're still going. Semper, I've got to be on the lookout for these. So much harder to do that when you're surrounded by the lights. There's another big bump. The ball's just lingering in front of the net. Semper, get rid of it. Shostet might be onto this, actually. He's going to try. No, instead, tips away for the boost steal.
What's more demos? Got all the fireworks, apart from the one that they want, the goal explosion. Drops. Apparently Jack gets rid of the danger. Just going to be the first to follow. Jorius daring anybody to come and challenge. Shostet picked up the gauntlet. Scrub sets up off the backboard. It's dangerous. Nobody around. That's where Semper need to be worried, because they are crowding up on the goal line, and those demos, as you can see, still very much in play.
Yeah, being in the goal, not just giving you a better angle at a lot of saves and a lot of clears, a lot of interceptions, but also just makes you a bit harder to hit, because these players running across the box have to turn around that post to get to you. Right now, with Semper sitting outside the net as often as they are, often sitting ducks and unable to avoid Dignitas, despite the strategy being quite clear. There's another sweep across. Shot follows. Saved by Semper.
Brilliant comms yet again, because Archie was in peril. And Shostet spotted it, came to help out. Castillo wants to find the challenge. When it comes to the 50 games, though, Dignitas finds no challenge. They simply tend to win them. 2.5 minutes of overtime played. Semper looking capable of a reverse sweep. Dignitas have always found a way in these situations to get the big play done. Castillo, that's a good challenge. That's an even better recovery.
That's the thing you got to worry about with Dignitas. You might think you got the ball past them, but do they have a flip? Do they have a way to get back to it? They're always able to get those quick recoveries and get an extra touch on the ball. If you fully commit, you're out the game. Semper, 3 minutes into OT, still standing strong, despite the Dignitas violence that's been seemingly effective against them.
Casio takes it as far away from Scrub as he can. Fair play to Semper just to weather the storm. And force Dignitas to go back to slightly more traditional Rocket League. Demos not as in play as they were earlier on. That could have very quickly been very dangerous. Archie able to find a second challenge. Apparently Jack leaves it. Saw the jump from Chaussette, thought he might have already caught him out. Casio with Archie. Team pinch! Oh, apparently Jack not fooled at all. Team pinch, still not good enough to take on what apparently Jack.
That might be the best save, but we've had some brilliant saves. Definitely want to take another look at that one. How did Jack see that coming? A perfectly executed team pinch by Semper. Still, Dignitas deny it. Whoa! Oh my goodness, that's not open enough apparently. A quick recovery from Dig makes it into a 2v1 at the other end, and it's now wide open, and then it goes! Dig sweeps Semper and advanced undefeated to the playoffs.
Of all ways for that overtime to end, it ended up being an unfortunate, I'm not going to call it an own goal, it was a deflection. There's nothing you can really do at that point.
Hard to see it coming.
But Dignitas, 9-0. We hyped this up so much about how this was going to be the most difficult journey in the most difficult style of tournament, and Dignitas quite literally can sleep in tomorrow.
Well, Chaussette's devastated. I mean, they had a couple of unfortunate touches, and I think they were punished for sitting outside the net often by Dig, who were just rampant with the demos. I know, you know, they said, Shogun, you can't have too much mechanics in one team. They're all going to go for the same stuff. Nah, 1v1 doesn't help. Doesn't transition to threes. Well, Dignitas trying to prove that wrong. Well, trying to prove everything wrong here. And all their doubters wrong so far. 9-0. Started off with the 3-0 against Tokyo Verdy, but since then, sweeping Envy and Semper, that's some impressive results. And in style, that save by Jack is next level, and they had another one following it as well. Archie just had no way that he could stop that flick, and poor Chaussette with the clincher. Scrub Killer absolutely thrilled with himself. Congratulations, Dig, on advancing as Semper. Because they haven't taken a game here, they've got some really tough opponents in that 1-1 waiting for them. They would have much preferred to take a game or two here.
Well, Dignitas able to speedrun through the Swiss bracket. Now we're going to see who is going to join them after this break.